Hey guys, Ozzy here and today we're back from the YouTube video. Today I'm going to be talking about Indiana Jones from the Indiana Jones series versus Lara Croft from the Tomb Raider series. If you're going to enjoy this video, then make sure to subscribe. I will be giving Indiana Jones everything, and Lara Croft will be limited to her original kind of timeline self, but she will be given everything that she has then as well. So yeah, let's just get into it. When it comes to strength and attack potency, Indiana Jones has been shown able to bust through walls. He's also made a small hut collapse just by, hitting it once. He's also shattered wooden doors, which require the power equal to over 500,000 joules, or being wall level. He should also be able to, relatively scale to his durability, as he's fought people who are on par with him. He has survived a blast, which was strong enough to collapse an entire temple, and survived being close to multiple grenades going off beside him. One singular grenade would be equal to over 1.6 million joules, which would also be wall level. Due to the whole blast that collapsed the temple, since it didn't really fully destroy the temple, you can't really say that Indiana Jones has large building level strength and durability, although the fact that it at all means that he's at least high-end wall level to small building level, which does make sense given the feats we've also outlined here. As for Lara Croft, her best attack potency feats are being able to match people who could harm her. Lara Croft has survived very long falls, which require her durability to be upwards of 98,000 joules. She also took being in the middle of a house as it exploded. Of course, the entire house wasn't evaporated from existence, so again I wouldn't say it's quite large building level, but I would say it's at least a small building level feat for durability, and it should scale to his attack potency. She's also being able to slay very large creatures who can topple small buildings with their size alone, so it is consistent. So that said, I would argue that their strength and durability are both equal. However, I'd probably say it's more in Lara's favour. When it comes to speed, then Indiana Jones has been showing being able to outright dodge gunfire, which on average travels at around 1,800 miles per hour. As for Lara Croft, meanwhile, she's also being able to dodge gunfire, which again travels on average around 1,800 miles per hour. So I'd argue that their speed is tied. You can argue that one of them can get the upper hand over the other using some of their abilities and weapons, but we'll get to that. When it comes to durability, we've already been over the fact that Indiana Jones is at least wall level to possibly small building level due to surviving, multiple grenades going off around him and surviving an explosion which collapsed an entire temple. As for Lara Croft, we've already went over the fact that she's survived being in the middle of a house as it exploded, which means that she is also likely small building level. So arguably their durability is tied, however you can argue that Lara Croft is more likely to be more durable. When it comes to abilities, weaponry, and techniques, Indiana Jones is an acrobat. He's a genius in intellect. He has multilingualism, which basically means he can speak many different languages. He has photographic memory, he has stealth mastery and vehicular mastery. He's a martial artist, he has weapons mastery, he has magic/fire manipulation due to being able to use dark magic to cause Sankara stones to catch fire. He has explosion manipulation, he has enhanced senses, being able to see through the eyes of an eagle and has see through illusionary magic. He has precognition with his spirit animal, being able to receive visions of the future. He's telepathically communicated with Merlin before. He has clairvoyance, being able to receive a vision of the man he was looking for. He has his trademark whip. He has several firearms. He has a rocket launcher, machetes, swords, knives, grenades, dynamite, binoculars, and a flashlight. As for Lara, meanwhile, she's an expert acrobat and climber. She's a weapons master, has martial arts herself. She has underwater breathing. She has life manipulation via the mask of Tornas Asuk. I think that's how you pronounce it. She has paralysis inducement via a taser. She has explosive manipulation with explosives. She has enhanced sight via binocular. She has vehicular mastery, stealth mastery, indomitable will. She has fire manipulation via her flares and torches. She has poison artillery with poison arrows. She has transformation with the Dagger of Zane. She has energy manipulation with artifacts and Sanglif. Why are these names hard to pronounce? She has levitation with Infada Stone. She has summoning and static electricity manipulation via Aura Dagger. She has demon manipulation via Bestiary. She has force field creation with the Aura Dagger and Sanglif. She has duplication via Sanglif. She has hunting intuition. She has an infinite supply of ammo. She has immense pain tolerance as she withstood being beat up and drugged and was able to still fight after being stabbed. She also has resistance to extreme temperatures. She also has tons of firearms along with grenades, tasers, darts, grenade launchers, harpoon guns, crossbows, knives, first aid kits, a compass, a stopwatch, flares, crossbows, binoculars, torches, grappling guns, flashlights, healing items, spanners, witch starter, and laser sight. Basically, I think it's clear that Lara Croft has the better weaponry, especially considering that most of her abilities come from that. I would argue that maybe Indiana Jones has got better abilities from the point of view of he doesn't need his weapons to, have them, but that said, I'd still argue that due to Lara Croft having way more, she is at least a versatility point, and I would argue that their abilities is probably tied, given the fact that Indiana Jones having clairvoyance and, telepathy and precognition's pretty OP, although so is having poison arrows, so I mean, you guys decide on that one. When it comes to weaknesses, Indiana Jones is terrified of snakes, and while he can fly planes, he can't land them. As for Lara's weaknesses, the only real thing that she has as a weakness is that she's very reckless. So, for us, the worst weakness, well, I guess Indiana Jones has more weaknesses. They are very circumstantial. Lara Croft's weakness will be something that's constant throughout the fight, so I'd argue that she has the worst weakness here. So who wins the fight? We've gathered from this that the strength, durability, speed and abilities are all tied, and the versatility and better weaponry goes to Lara, meanwhile the, Indiana Jones is less vulnerable. So who wins? On paper, Lara Croft has more advantages, but it's not a one-sided fight by any means. With the stats being so close, you can very easily argue that Indiana Jones in some instances just gets more lucky than Lara and just beats her up, basically. And you can also argue that, it kind of depends on the situation around them. With, if there's snakes where they're fighting, then obviously Lara Croft is going to have the upper hand. There's also the fact that while their speed is equal, Indiana Jones does have precognition, which would give him the upper hand in full-on hand-to-hand, basically. Although, that said, Lara Croft does have, paralysis inducement with her taser, which could also give her the upper hand when it comes to speed. There are just many ways that, Lara can defeat Indiana Jones, though, that doesn't come to, physical strength, such as, she could poison him, set him on fire, she could basically use her, static electricity manipulation with her aura dagger, she could use her force fields, she could also just outright outlast Indiana Jones with her infinite supply of ammo and having a greater pain tolerance than him, and being able to resist extreme temperatures. So, I would argue that you could also say that Indiana Jones uses his great intellect to, play off of Lara's weakness, due to the fact that Lara's very reckless, but again, that's kind of circumstantial. So, there is also the fact that actually Indiana Jones could bypass Lara Croft's stealth mastery with his clairvoyance and could catch her off guard, and I guess that is a way that he could win. But again, he doesn't really have much of a way of winning that's not, full-on fist fights, and as we said, Lara just has more ways of winning with her versatility. So I'd say Lara Croft wins this one. If you enjoyed this video, then make sure to subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video.
None of you are worthy of your lives, so I'll take them.